We should get Rachel to retweet.
Right? Come on, Rachel. Use your e-clout.
Get some people watching. Both these fantastic players.
We've got viOLet on the stream right now. Maybe their short attention spans will be quelled by this amazing matchup here between STX and viOLet. viOLet one map away from being knocked out here. High drama for him.
Yeah, let's do some player intros here. In the purple, spawning on the left-hand side of GSL Daybreak, he is
viOLet.
And in the pink, spawning on the right-hand side of the map from Team GoSu, we have
STX.
And we'll have to see what these players decide to do. STX throwing down the wall off. That's super standard. And viOLet probably is going to go for that hatch first again. This is actually, I really like Daybreak. I think that it reminds me a lot of Brood War maps, actually, just in its design. You know, just taking a look at this, you've got your natural expansion. It's kind of wide open. You have an easy to take third. There's no destructible rocks blocking this. And your attack path is actually really kind of long. You can't just go through the center until you decide to knock down these rocks. I actually would not mind it if these rocks had double the hit points. That would be kind of cool. So there's a lot of space control that can happen on this map, controlling these points right here. If you're Terran, it's very, very essential to do, and that gives you this pocket expansion in the back. And you kind of have these like mid expansions, which are half, and have the rich geyser. So a lot of cool things going on. Hatch first, going down out of viOLet. And we have the hatch first out of viOLet, and then he's actually going to get a gas before he makes a spawning pool. So this is kind of a different opening out of him. Usually we see Zergs right now go for the hatch and then the pool and then the gas. But of course going pool before gas ensures that you will have 100 gas when your pool finishes. It does delay your pool, but you will get a slightly faster Zergling speed. And that's kind of interesting to note. Or it means that you'll have 100 gas when your pool finishes. So if you throw down a Roach Warren or something, you'll have, you know, however much gas you're gonna have. You'll have, I think it comes out to like 210. So if you wait like one more tick, you can make, you know, what is that, 8 roaches?
Mm-hmm.
So, or I guess that would be 12 roach. So, but some interesting build coming out of viOLet. Delaying that pool quite a bit, laying it down on 17 food after he laid down the extractor on 17. So a super delayed gas there. Pool pops. He's going to start his 2 queens. And he started speed. So took his drones off gas. Just wanted to get that speed super quick. And we see 1 racks expand out of STX and then the double gas. So this is kind of a cool build out of him. I would assume we're going to see factory immediately after this. That's kind of standard to get tanks out real quickly and siege mode. Or he might just be going for a really strong bio play and just get lots of upgrades for his Marines. Start doing some pushing action. Either way though, STX is a super strong player, as we saw in that last match. viOLet, seeing this, actually is going to try to go for the super fast third.
Oh, and it's going to be denied by this SCV. Great job dropping the NG Bay just in time to block this. Zergling's going to come over and be able to take out this SCV though and deny this block, but not without costing him some time.
Absolutely.
And now he knows the intention of viOLet as viOLet stubbornly places it down again.
And he's just going to waltz back here, and he might even try and build a bunker just to try and scare viOLet. But we're 6 minutes in the game, and both players are at like 30 food. So very econ-based play so far. STX throwing down the factory, actually. It's going to get out some Hellions. So, well, we usually see like Reactor Hellion expand. Now we're seeing expand Reactor Hellion. So just a little bit of a reordering of pretty standard build. 2 additional barracks following it up. And it's actually kind of a wide open front. So, you know, big run buys. Oh, Hellions, so well timed.
Zerglings denied having to pull back there. And the Hellions now will take map control here of the Zelnaga Tower.
I mean, and even if this is all he wanted to do with those Hellions, which is actually, it looks like he's continuing Hellion production, this is so smart, right? To get out the Hellions to take map control. Because map control is one of those things that as a Zerg player, you really want to have it. Like, if you don't have it, you're playing blind, you don't know when you can drone, you don't know when you need to make units. And viOLet realizes this, is getting out some roaches, does not want to have his creep spread denied, wants to be able to do what he wants to do. And that pretty much involves you have to know what your opponent's up to. So that's probably what we'll see out of him. This third base though is super vulnerable to Hellions.
Yeah, we've seen that many times with a lot of Hellions before, hitting that third and doing tons of damage.
Yep.
4 Hellions in the middle though are gonna have to run away from those 2 roaches, as 2 roaches is enough to kill all of those.
Yep. And STX is like, weren't those the 2 roaches that I just
Right,
saw?
didn't I just see 2 over there?
So that means you made 4? Yes, you did. 3 more in production, in fact. And what do we see back home? We're getting the tanks out now. That reactor is now being used on the starboard for medevacs. Stim is about to finish up, so I would not be surprised to see these 2 medevacs get loaded up, gonna drop, come out immediately. You know, like dropping in the main and at the same time doing some pushing action with the Hellions at one of these fronts could be really effective out of STX. Of course, anything that involves multitask usually can be pretty effective. Overseer comes in, sees what's up, but it actually missed these 2 dropships. And STX has the watchtower.
Ooh, it might not though. Here they come. Oh, that's super close, dude.
Check viOLet's vision.
Oh,
yes,
he
sees it. So
you saw the dot.
yeah, viOLet knows what's up. But yeah, this is still potentially really strong. viOLet has a lot of roach ling out though, so I mean, if he engages this in a straight up fight, he should be able to take it just fine. The problem is, you know, STX probably shouldn't be engaging in a straight up fight.
Yeah, I don't think I would, man. This is kind of ballsy here. He's focusing down roaches though. You can see them sort of melting slowly. Not focusing down anymore, and he lost a lot of those Marines, and now he doesn't really have a number of Marines in those medevacs that do much damage. So
yeah,
maybe he's just going to fly around, cause him to assume there's more in there than there really are. Get a lay of the land.
I think viOLet is pretty good at counting. I think that he probably looked at that and said, okay, well,
There's nothing in there.
yeah.
Sure.
And Aspire immediately on the way for viOLet, and that's a really smart choice out of him, because he basically said, I just killed off a whole bunch of your Marines. You're not going to have the Marine count to deal with a lot of Mutalisks, so I'm just going to go into that Spire. Actually, wow, canceling the Spire after it gets scouted and throwing down the infestation pit. That is pretty cool. Pretty suave out of you, viOLet. Very tricky. And viOLet now moving out with a lot of Roachling onto the map. I don't think it would be very wise for him to try and push into this. There's tanks here. They have siege mode. But we might see viOLet go for something big and aggressive.
I love his all-ins.
Yeah, no, they're so scary. They're so scary.
Times.
Oh, and here we go. The tank's sieging up. Roach is doing a ton of damage, but having to pull back as those tanks start taking the first few shots. And that is actually a lot of Marines. They've got the 1 attack, so that 1 armor gives them 2 armor, but 1 attack helps nullify a lot of that extra damage.
Mm-hmm. Third command center heading down to the 3rd location here, and viOLet is ready. Got a couple Zerglings over there, so he's going to know when it heads over. Looks like he's got another Overlord there too, scouting the whole situation. So nothing in the Terran base is a surprise right now to viOLet.
Yep, the 2-2 on the way for viOLet. The 1 armor finishing up for STX. And viOLet's going for this big Infestor Ling style again. Just getting 6 Infestors out now. Pathogen Glands about to finish up. viOLet taking a 4th base at the top of the map as well. And starting the creep spread. Feel like he's a little bit late on doing some of the creep.
STX is supply blocks right now too. I mean, it was for a second there. Yep, and there he goes. Throwing 3 down right now.
I'd actually like to see a better wall up out of some of these supply depots at this expansion to stop Ling rung bys. Maybe a bunker down here with a couple Marines in it as well can do wonders against small numbers of Marines. Something like this. It's good stuff, STX. Got it under control. And not too much going on right here. The Spire finally going down as the Hive goes down, so that'll probably turn into a Greater Spire at some point in the near future. viOLet's army, he's got Infestors out there doing nothing but building up energy, and that's a scary place to be in as a Terran player when you know your opponent has Infestors, and you know he's made some, and they're just getting more and more fungals. And you're like, oh god, those Infestors, they actually could just have like enough fungals to kill my entire army.
Well, I think STX is giving viOLet too much time here. viOLet's macro's too good.
It is really good. STX has been macroing along with him though, so we'll have to see exactly.
I like his upgrades. That's about the best that I can hope for from STX, is being able to get that +2 going.
The 2/2. He's got the 1 for mech on the way as well. But look at viOLet already starting 3/3 and adrenal glands and Greater Spire. So STX has his timing right now. He needs to go kill viOLet before viOLet gets the Greater Spire, or he needs to start ghost production right now. And I don't see any ghosts on the way, or a Ghost Academy. A lot of minerals forced into turrets out of STX by viOLet with that Spire cancel. So great move out of him. And here we go, the big move out.
Yeah, that's a lot of units.
Ooh, tanks are not siege. Oh, huge fungals going down.
Those were giant. And you see how only half the Marines are being healed right now. That's kind of a problem. That's what we noticed last time.
Wow, but actually,
boy, a lot of them are still standing.
viOLet having to pull back because STX actually microed a whole bunch of his Marines back when those fungals started going off. viOLet's going to lose this base for sure. He's also going to lose all of those drones. And that sucks for viOLet. And viOLet throwing down some emergency spines,
panic crawlers.
But that's not going to be enough. Did he lose all of his Infestors in that engagement?
Dude.
I think he did. He did.
Yeah. It was
so this is actually not a good position for viOLet to be in.
Oh,
He's down in supply. STX charging into the third base.
Ooh, that's a lot of Lings though, and those roaches could be able to clean this up before that base goes down. What's the health on that thing? Yeah, it's
He's not targeted firing it actually. Ooh. And STX forced to pick up all his Marines, but look at the macro of STX.
That is a huge force.
Absolutely.
I think viOLet's in big trouble here, bud.
I think viOLet's in really big trouble. He's making Broodlords. He's got 8 of them on the way. And that's a big deal because STX really doesn't have anything to deal with Broodlords. But these Infestors need to be out at the same time. Otherwise, he'll lose regardless.
Okay. Well, the supplies are even right now. That's the good news for everybody, although viOLet just lost his base. Wow, look at these Marines here, and the engagement's about to happen. There's the roaches hitting the line. Lings are going to come up and double check as well. And you see the Broodlings now hitting the front additionally. Boy, this is too hard to call here, Gwin, as the roaches getting very low health, and they're starting to melt fast.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. STX, though, sees that he needs to turn around and does. The Broodling count just kept getting higher and higher, and Infestors join the field. That's when it gets scary, when there's Infestors out. And viOLet now marching across the map. Fungal going down, 2 huge fungal going down on those Marines. And I think, unless he picks up and runs, he's going to lose his whole army. Those Infestors doing great damage there.
Wow, these Broodlords are doing the trick, aren't they, bud?
Absolutely. I mean, he really needs to get out Ghosts or Vikings, something to deal with these Broodlords immediately, but he's just not. I mean, he's sticking with this Marine composition, and I think Marines against Infestor Broodlord, that's going to go badly for the Marines.
Yeah. Boy, this is a game that is STX's to lose at this point. I think he is losing it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When he killed off those bases, if he had just turned around and transitioned into Ghosts immediately, I think he would have been okay. But he did not do that. Now viOLet is knocking down his front door, Rance.
Lots of funnels built up here, too. Looks like he's got 3 or 4 at least to offer. Broodlords are going to hit the front and start chewing on the supply depots of the Terran. And the supply cap is starting to... Yep, there it is. I couldn't see it. It was pink.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
It's a common problem. That's why I was like, man, STX. Why did you choose pink? That's why I choose pink.
He could have had that game, dude.
Yeah, that was so close.
Oh, man.
He like cleaned